Good evening, all the joinees. Hi, this is Ansu. I welcome you all to the webinar conducted by Engine Markets. By the time the others join in, let's have a look at today's webinar topic. So, today we will be talking about how you can compare mutual funds from a specific category. In order to shortlist fund, we would be making use of the query section that is available in the fund section. Multiple parameters you could input to shortlist your list of funds from a specific category that you're looking upon. Followed by that, we would be taking these funds to the compare section, wherein you can do an in depth analysis of these funds against that of their benchmark and category average. Next, we would be looking upon their risk and returns scatter plot, wherein it is a scatter plot which has risk on the x axis and returns on the y axis. And these schemes get plotted onto this scatter plot basis its risk and returns as a parameter. Lastly, we would be looking upon their rollings and drawdown and recovery analysis. And finally, the quorum would be open for a Q&A session. You could either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box. So let us begin. So this is our landing page once you log into Engine Markets platform, which is the Markets tab. Now, for our topic related webinar, we are specifically talking about how you can load a specific category and analyze them, shortlist them, and compare them with the respective benchmark, or for that matter, the category average. So, for that, there are in total three ways or three methods how you can load a specific category. For the first method, I would go to this compare section right here. So in this section, you have an option wherein you could by default load a entire SEBI category just right here. Now, how do you go about it will be right here, the option available as add groups. So the option is just the first option, add SEBI category. You could load and select your respective SEBI category right here, and all the funds that come under that respective SEBI category will show up right here. So I've just selected Contra as the category, and you see the three funds that were in that respective category show up into this compare section. The similar would be for any other category that you simply search right here. For example, if I try to add small cap, you click on this and the entire list of small cap funds would load into this compare section. Now, the second way of loading a specific category would be going to this fund section. So in the fund section, the first tab is the screener section. So this is the section which will show you list of all the funds that are currently trading in the market. Now, how do you select a specific SEBI category would be clicking on this option of filter categories. Once you select this, there are four buckets that would come up, which are typically the asset classes and their SEBI classification within each asset class. Now, there are check boxes which, once clicked, you get to see those funds from that respective category onto the screen. Here as well, you could select multiple categories at the same time just by clicking onto this checkbox. For now, let's say I'm just selecting a specific category of FlexiCap, and the entire list of 40 FlexiCap funds would load onto this screener section. Now, of course, you can anytime take this list of funds to the compare section, but the basic purpose of our screener section is filtering the funds so that your filtered list of fund can move to the compare section for detailed analysis against the benchmark and category average. Now, in order to filter this list, the first option would be filtering it basis the AMC. So right here, we have provided you an option of filtering the databases, the AMCs that are there. So you can simply select the specific AMC fund that you wish to view and the filtered list would come up. So currently I am just keeping it as it is, which is that I want all the AMCs at the moment. In addition to that, you can also shorten your list basis these basic filter parameters that we have provided. For example, capping it basis a minimum AUM, or let's say a minimum age, the time period for which the fund was in the market, if not a specific time period return, or a minimum Sharpe ratio parameter as well. So let's say right here, I just put in three parameters, which is the first minimum AUM. I set it as 3000 crore and a minimum age as 5. And let's say a 5-year return of 15% minimum. And all you need to do once you fill all these parameters, all you need to do would be click on apply. Right? So basis the parameters that I have set in, the minimum parameters that I have set in, our list got shortened. From 40, now we are left with 17 such funds only, which are meeting each of these filter parameters. That is to say that the AUM of each of these funds is 3000 crore and above. And these funds have been in the market for at least 5 years, and their 5-year returns is 15% and above. So once our fund have gotten shortlisted, the next step to compare them with the benchmark would be to bringing it to the compare section right here. Now, how do you move the funds from the fund section to the compare section would be by one click. Right here, add top 50 to compare. Once you click on that, your entire list of fund will directly move from the funds to the compare section just by a click. So this was our second way of shortlisting funds from a specific category. The third way will be using this query section, which is the robust feature of our screener section. So the query section provides you multiple filter parameters. Once you come right here in this select statistic filters option, once you select on this drop down, there are multiple filter parameters that are available, which are certain basic filters, followed by returns related filters, risk related filters, holdings related filters, and lastly, the yearly returns related filters. You could select multiple filters, create multiple conditions, and hence create a query of yours. So now let's say I try to create a query of multi-cap funds. So multi-cap fund happens to be a SEBI category. So I would select this option as SEBI category. And from this drop down, I would locate the multi-cap category. And I would click on this add condition as an option. Once that is done, it says that there are 31 multi-cap funds. Now, let's say I put in a AUM filter right here. So I'll again click on this drop down of the statistic filter. I'll select AUM as an option. Now, right here, a condition or rather a drawback that we had in the screener gets resolved in the query. So in the screener, we anytime had an option to put only the minimum parameter for any of these filters that are provided. However, in the query section, we have provided you with an option to put in a range, which is a minimum to a maximum range. So right here, I would be putting in the AUM to range between, let's say, a 3000 to a 50,000 crore. And I'll click on add condition. So basis this one filter of AUM that we had put in, we are now come down to 16 such funds only. So from 31 to 16, so the remaining 15 odd funds got shortlisted basis this AUM parameter. Next, I would also put in a range or a filter of age as well. And for that, I would select this launch date as an option. So here, let's say I put in a 3-year and older fund. So I would be editing the end date and I've made it as 2022 year and I'll click on add condition. And lastly, the final parameter that I would be putting in will be a 3-year return, which is ranging between a 15 to a 30%. And I'll click on add condition. So these were the 4 conditions that I have put in. And it says that finally from 31, I'm left with 10 such funds. Now, all you need to do is scroll down and click on this option of 10 funds. Show 10 funds. And on the right hand side, you would be able to see the list of funds that have gotten shortlisted basis the conditions that you have put in. Now here, next to the name of the fund and the asset class, you could see only 4 columns are coming up. Now these columns are specific to the conditions that you put in. More are the conditions that you put in, more would be the columns that you would be able to view right here. Now, once our data has gotten shortlisted, there are 2 things that you could do with this. First, either you could generate an Excel, download this data in Excel format. If not, next to that, there is a compare icon. You can simply click on this compare icon, and the entire shortlisted fund will now move to the compare section for a detailed fund level analysis. So, this happens to be the section which helps you to compare funds with each other, or for that matter, the benchmark or category average. Now, in terms of benchmark, how do you add them? Is the option available right here called as add other items. You can search for the respective benchmark. So, since this is from the multi-cap category, I would be adding in Nifty 500 multi-cap 50 25 25 right here. So this has gotten added in as a row item. In addition to that, I will also add in the category average too, which again is available in this search box itself of add other items. So I would be adding in multi-cap right here. So these two parameters, which is the benchmark as well as the category average, has gotten added in right here along with the 10 funds that I have brought in from the fund section to the compare section. Now, if we focus on this green color coded columns, these are specifically the returns related columns. For example, you could view various time period returns, which is MTD, daily returns, that is 3 months, 6 months, and yearly returns as well, specifically. In addition to that, other parameters like CAGR, standard deviation, Sharpe, Sortino, and value at risk are as well visible. However, please note that these data by default would show you each of these funds data since inception. That is to say that, for example, this CAGR return of Invesco Multicap, which is to an extent of 16%. This is the fund's CAGR since its inception. That is, since the time period of 17 years, it has been giving a CAGR of 16.34. Now, if you wish to view any of these 5 data for a specific time period, you would be required to put in a start date. And the option is available right here. All you need to do would be click on this settings wheel and put in your respective start date. So let's say I wish to analyze this maybe for a 3-year time period. So I would be taking in 13th June 2022 and I'll click on go. Now, these data are respective for the 3-year time period that we are looking upon. Right now, if I just saw this basis the CAGR return, we get to see that there are these 6 or 7 odd funds that have outperformed the benchmark as well as the category average when we consider their CAGR return in the previous 3 years, the end date being the previous day, that is the latest trading day. While there are these 3 funds, SBI Multicap, Aditya Birla Multicap, and Quant Active Fund. These are the 3 funds that were not able to beat the benchmark as well as the category average when we consider their CAGR returns. Followed by that, we would now come upon to this Sharpe ratio. Sharpe ratio typically lets us know the risk adjusted returns for each of the scheme. Right? In terms of Sharpe ratio, the best Sharpe ratio has been provided by Nippon India Multicap, which is to an extent of 1.45. In addition to that, there are these 6 schemes that have outperformed the benchmark in consideration of its Sharpe ratio. While again, there are the further 3 funds, which is Mahindra Manulife, Aditya Birla, and Quant Active. They have underperformed the category average as well as the benchmark when we take into consideration their Sharpe ratio. Once we are through this returns related column, we would be moving further towards the right hand side and we would be coming towards these blue color coded columns. So these are specifically the holding columns respective to each of these schemes. So majorly right here, you would be able to view the equity and debt split for the portfolio of each of these schemes. In addition to that, you could view the large, mid, and small cap split for each of these schemes. So these will anytime be the latest holding data. So our holdings for each of the schemes get updated on a monthly basis. So 8th to 13th of the month, we run our update cycle. So by today, the latest data for each of the scheme would be visible onto the platform that way. Post this, we move further towards the rolling tab. Now, rollings lets us see the consistency of the schemes that we are looking upon. Right here, you could see rolling window has been mentioned, which is the holding period. And next to that, you could see 260 has been mentioned, equivalent to 1 year on the platform. So on the platform, we consider only working days, only trading days, and hence 260 is equivalent for a year. This rolling window could also be edited. All you need to do would be put in multiples of 260 if the change needs to be done on an yearly rolling basis. If not, you could put in multiples of 21 if you wish to view the change on a monthly basis. Followed by that, you could come across this start and end date, which is typically letting you see what is the time horizon that you have taken under consideration for calculating the rolling returns for each of these schemes. So both the start as well as the end date could also be edited. Now, how do you read any of these data that you see onto this box? For example, the first column, which is the average column. Maybe we try to read the data for Nippon India Multicap, which says the average ruling return is to an extent of 27.2%. So this says that if an investor would have held onto this fund, Nippon India Multicap, for any 260 days, that is any 1 year, from the start date of 15th March 2022 till the end date of 12th June 2025, they could have got an average rolling return to an extent of 27%. Next to that, you could view this VOL as a column, which is an abbreviation for volatility on the platform. So this section, this vol, lets us see how volatile are these rolling returns. Followed by that, you could view the high and the low column, which is suggesting what is the highest rolling return generated by the scheme, as well as the lowest rolling return that is generated by the scheme. Now, if at all we look upon these schemes, even the lowest figure are a bit lower negatives. So, if at all you see the range of negatives is starting from a negative 3.0.3 till negative 14. So, the shortlisted fund, if at all we see, most of them have generated a lower negative return, and hence we could view that their positive percentage is 94 or a 93% and above. Now, this column of positive percentage lets us see what percent of times a specific scheme has generated only positive return. So, for these two schemes, iPru and Nippon, you see even their lowest figures, even their lowest return, rolling returns were a positive figure, and hence 100% of times they were able to generate positive return in a 260-day rolling window. Followed by that, how do you read the data that you view onto this line graph? I'll quickly try to read a data right here. For example, for Kotak Multicap Fund. And here you could view a date of 14th March 2023, and it says a return of 12.23. So this says that if an investor would have held onto this fund, Kotak Multicap, exactly 260 days prior to this date, which is 14th March 2023. And that date will anytime be a start date, which is 15th March 2022. If you would have held onto this fund from this start date, on this date of 260th date from our start date, you would have had a rolling returns from this fund to an extent of 12.23%. Any section that you keep your cursor on will read the same data. So for iPru Multicap, it says if you held onto this fund for any 260 days, which is prior to this date of 19th June 2023, you would have got an rolling return of 27.9%. In addition to that, right here, we have provided you a rolling return distribution table. So basis the rolling window that has been set in, the return distribution table also comes up. So here you have an option to edit these return ranges. Let's say you wish to see what percent of times the funds have generated returns between, let's say, a 15 to maybe a 25%. So you put in the range, the return ranges as per your requirement, and you get to see that what percent of times the funds generated returns between that respective return range. So for iPro Multicap, it says that this fund has 29.5% of times generated returns between 15 to a 25%. Similarly, 5 buckets are available right here. Each of the bucket would be editable that way. Next, we move towards the drawdowns tab. Now, drawdowns lets us see how quickly a specific fund is recovering from any loss that has happened in the past. That is to say, that the fund's NAV falling down and how many days, or rather working days, did it take to reach back or cross that loss period or the loss NAV. Now, right here, we show the top 5 losses for the schemes as well as the benchmark and the category average. Now, how do you read the data would be just by clicking on this graph-like icon. So it says currently for iPro Multicap, it says the loss, the highest loss that was experienced by this fund, of course, from the start date that you see right here, from 15th March 2022. From this date, the worst loss that was experienced by this fund was to an extent of 17.5 percentage, wherein the fund's NAV was at 833. This started falling and it reached a NAV of 687. Now, the duration when the NAV kept on falling is also mentioned right here. It was from 27th September 2024 till 4th March 2025. So, the recent market correction that just happened, that is the worst loss that this fund experienced from this start date that we had input from 15th March 2023. So, this time period that you see of September 2024 till March 2025 is equivalent to a total of 158 days. And post this end date, we let you know how many days did it take to recover. However, at the moment, this loss is not yet been recovered. Only 72% of this loss has been recovered, and hence the loss is still ongoing. Once it has completely recovered from this loss, we mention the number of days that it took to recover. In addition to that, we also show you on what date did the recovery happen. Now, if I try to locate this second loss onto this line graph, let's say I try to locate the recovery date onto this line graph, which is 17th August 2022. So right here, I'll try to highlight this section. Yeah. So right here on this date, you could see that the NAV of this fund is 456.56, which is higher than the start NAV that happened, which was 454.41. And hence, that is how we determine that this is supposed to be the recovery date, because on this date, it was able to cross the start NAV and hence the loss was completely recovered per se. So right here, as I highlighted, we show the top 5 losses, and there are in total 3 columns that you can come across. First, will let you know size, that is typically the magnitude of loss that was experienced by the fund. Followed by that, you could view the length, which is again letting you see for how long did the loss existed. In addition to that, the third column lets you see the recovery, which is typically letting you know how many working days did it take for the fund to bounce back from that loss and cross that existing downfall NAV. So post the drawdowns tab, we would be going towards this risk versus return scatter plot. So this is a scatter plot wherein on the x-axis, you could view annualized risk, that is standard deviation. And on the y-axis, you could view annualized return. And we have divided this into 4 quadrants, that is low risk, high return, low risk, low return, high risk, high return, and high risk, low return. Now, if the fund gets plotted on the left-hand side of this scatter plot, those are the ones which have lower level of risk than if it gets plotted on the right-hand side. Those would be having higher level of risk. And in a similar way, if the fund gets plotted on the upper end of y-axis, it would be having higher level of return than getting plotted into this lower end of y-axis. Now, basis the time period that you set in, the funds will get plotted onto this scatter plot based on its risk and returns as a parameter. So let's say here I set in a 3-year time period, what we had set in the mean list as well. So I'll take in 13th June 2022 and I'll hit on go. Right. So right here, we could see that quant happens to be in this quadrant of high risk and low return. That is to say that in consideration or in relative to the other 12 funds or 10 funds that we have brought to the compare section, quant is taking in a higher level of risk and at the same time is generating a lower level of return. Again, relative to the other funds and also depending on the time period that we have set in. In addition to that, if we try to locate or identify these three funds, which is Invesco Multicap, Mahindra Manulife Multicap, and iPru Multicap, we get to see that these are the funds that are lying on the same line, right? Which is to say that they are generating almost the similar level of return. Invesco having a return of 23.12, Mahindra having a return of 23, again, same 23.12, and iPru having it around the same range, which is 23.78. However, in terms of risk, we get to see that iPru happens to have a lower risk when we consider it against Invesco and Mahindra. iPru taking in the risk of 11.7, Invesco a bit higher, which is 14.01, and Mahindra a bit higher, which is again 15.96. So, with the same level of return, let's say you wish to identify a fund which is giving in a lower or rather taking in a lower level of risk, you could anytime go forward with this iPru multicap when you're comparing it against Invesco and Mahindra, which are the funds generating similar return as that of iPru, but iPru is taking in a lower level of risk in order to generate that similar level of return. Finally, right here, the report that you could generate from the compare section would be a PPT report. So this is a fund comparison report that you could generate from our Compares tab. In the premium version, the reports would be co-branded. That is to say that in place of Engine Markets, it will be your company logo that would be coming up. The first page will show you basic details about the funds. The next page will show you the risk and returns related parameters respective to each of the schemes. Now, right here, the PPT that you generate would be anytime editable. So let's say this is a list of schemes that you're sending across to your client and you maybe wish to highlight a few schemes right here. So all you can do is just select those schemes and maybe you can highlight those cells just so that these are differentiated from the other schemes. So the client would know that these are the schemes that you want to suggest to them. So editing anytime possible, highlighting them, putting in your feedbacks, your recommendations are anytime possible. The next page will show you the scatter plot of risk and returns, followed by you could view the holdings of the funds, which is the portfolio of the fund, that is the large, mid, and small cap split. Next is the overlaps tab, which will be showing you the common underlying between every two scheme that you have loaded to the compare section. Next is the performance analysis, which is showing you the NAV movements of the schemes when they are rebased to 100, followed by other returns chart. These are calendar year returns. And lastly, the rolling returns. Rolling returns again would be for the time period that you have set in. Before generating the report, it was 260, and hence right here as well, it has come in for a rolling window of 260 days. And the last page being the disclaimer, you could anytime edit these reports as well as I highlighted. Adding or removing of slides are anytime possible. So that is it for the topic related webinar. If anyone has any questions, you could either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box.
Hello, madam. Could you please explain me this chart process, PPT process once again? Like I was like a bit confused over the returns and the risk comparison. Like where need to export? Like, can you please show
Uh,
this process quick?
Generating a PPT report, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yes.
And
So
editing this.
all you need to do is bring the funds to the compare section, and on this top right hand side, there's this export option. All you need to do is click on this PPT icon. Once you do that, your PPT gets generated, which is an editable PPT. This is how the PPT would come up.
Yeah, in the third slide, you just compared with the three funds, right? Could you please
No,
explain
no.
that?
So, what I was just highlighting was, let's say there are certain schemes that you wish to highlight to a client that this is performing good, this is not performing well. So, you can just select those cells and you can fill those cells with your respective colors as well.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you. Understood.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Here is a one tab that is called Convert to Portfolio next to Reset.
Correct.
So, what is the importance of the Convert to Portfolio and
Um, Sure. So this is typically a easy option wherein, let's say, you have shortlisted schemes from different category. Currently the schemes are from the similar category only. Let's say you have selected like 4 or 5 different categories. You've shortlisted 2 or 3 funds from each category, and you instantly want to create a portfolio out of it. So you can just click on this convert to portfolio as an option, and instantly an equally allocated portfolio will get saved right here in the portfolio section. Right, so I'll just show you how the portfolio would come up. So let's say these were the 3 schemes that you just loaded to the compare section. And once you click on this convert to portfolio as an option, instantly it will save an equally allocated portfolio into the compare section. So now this is more like a portfolio analysis that you're running on the shortlisted funds that you viewed in the compare section.
kindly go to the Convert to Portfolio section?
Yes.
Yeah. And what is this improve section will stand for?
Yes.
Improve.
So improve typically gives you suggestions how the portfolio can be improvised. So in the improve section, we are neither adding any new scheme nor we are removing any existing scheme. We are just changing the current allocation in such a way that either your returns could be maximized, or your volatility could be minimized, or your Sharpe ratio can be maximized.
So, what if I choose the return volume or ये rank shape,
Huh,
rank survey?
correct.
Then here are save button.
Yes.
This Sharpe rank Sharpe tells me that in all the three funds will allocate on the given
Allocations. That is, yes,
allocations, right?
correct.
And
Correct.
I choose this rank Sharpe.
Hmm.
Then I need to what need I do next? Save.
Yeah. So there's an option. Each of these has an option of save. All you need to do is click on the save as an option, and your portfolio will get saved in this portfolio section.
Portfolio section.
Yeah, in this portfolio section itself. So there is a folder called as from improve. Right. So any portfolio that you improvise using the improve tab will automatically get saved in this improve folder.
You clicked on this plus icon. You clicked. अभी
राइट नो आई मैंने अभी ये कोलैप्स आइकन पे क्लिक किया तो ये फोल्डर्स गॉट कोलैप्स्ड एंड देन आई क्लिक्ड ऑन दिस फ्रॉम इम्प्रूव फोल्डर व्हिच expanded the folder.
Okay, and now I can send it to the my client and suggest you go to the asset allocation basis
Yeah,
allocation.
so again, you can just run an analysis on this and generate reports out of this, which can be shared with your client.
Okay. And how do we analyze stocks? You are talking about mutual funds, and I can analyze stocks too in this
Ye-
platform.
Yes, so right here in the compare section itself, you have an option to add stocks right here. So all these data that you viewed for mutual funds are again available for stocks as well. In addition to that, portfolios of stocks, you could create a portfolio of stocks and analyze them in a similar way how you analyze a mutual fund portfolio.
Okay,
Right?
got it.
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, this adding when you're adding the funds part,
Yes.
converting into a comparison part, like so what was the like the transition? What you did? Can you please show me that?
Sorry, converting to portfolio is what you asked?
Yeah, from fund section. So in funds we have categorized
Okay. This
semi.
query section.
Yeah.
Huh. So right here, as I highlighted, this is a section wherein you can put in various filters, various conditions, and create a query of your own. So as of now, I just built a query of multi-cap funds. I happen to add in these conditions right here. I clicked on show the 10 funds, and my list comes up onto the right-hand side. All you need to do is click on this compare icon. Once you click on that, the entire shortlisted fund by just a single click will move towards the compare section.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, no problem.
मैडम could you हेलो मैडम
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
या आप मेरे को रोलिंग रिटर्न बता सकते हो वापस एक टाइम प्लीज?
हाँ, sure. तो रोलिंग रिटर्न्स टिपिकली आपको कंसिस्टेंसी बताता है, एज इन ऑन अ कंसिस्टेंट लेवल फंड्स रिटर्न्स कैसे जनरेट कर रहे थे. तो यहाँ पे आप रोलिंग विंडो देख सकते हो, मतलब होल्डिंग पीरियड, कितने टाइम तक वो फंड को होल्ड कर रहे हैं, एंड उसके बाद 260 आप देख सकते हो, विच इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 1 ईयर ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म. सो प्लेटफॉर्म पे हम सिर्फ ट्रेडिंग डेज या वर्किंग डेज ही कंसिडर करते हैं, एंड हेंस 1 ईयर इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 260 डेज. उसके बाद आप यहाँ पे स्टार्ट एंड एंड डेट देख सकते हो. अब यहाँ पे ये पहला कॉलम जो एवरेज है, आप उसको रीड कैसे करोगे? जैसे लेट्स से मैं ये इन्वेस्को के लिए रीड करती हूँ, तो इट सेज 23.8 इज द एवरेज रूलिंग रिटर्न फॉर दिस फंड. मतलब इट इज सेइंग दैट इफ आपने ये फंड में इन्वेस्ट किया होता फॉर एनी 1 ईयर, दैट इज अवर 260 डे रोलिंग विंडो, कोई भी एक साल के लिए आपने ये फंड में इन्वेस्ट किया होता, फ्रॉम दिस स्टार्ट डेट ऑफ 15th March 2022 till this end date of 12th June 2025, आपको एवरेज रोलिंग रिटर्न 23.8% मिलता है इस फंड से. फिर वो उसकी वॉलेटिलिटी बता रहा है कि ये रोलिंग रिटर्न्स कितना ज़्यादा वॉलेटाइल है, एंड इन द एंटायर स्टार्ट एंड एंड डेट सबसे बेस्ट रोलिंग रिटर्न उसने क्या जनरेट किया था और सबसे वर्स्ट रोलिंग रिटर्न उसने क्या जनरेट किया था. एंड उसके बाद ये जो लास्ट कॉलम जो आप देखते हो, ये आपको परसेंटेज ऑफ रोलिंग रिटर्न्स बताता है, पॉजिटिव परसेंटेज, मतलब कितना परसेंट ऑफ टाइम्स वो फंड ने सिर्फ पॉजिटिव रिटर्न जनरेट किया है. इसमें हम सिर्फ दो कंसिडरेशन दे रहे हैं कि एक पॉजिटिव क्वाड्रेंट है और एक नेगेटिव क्वाड्रेंट है. तो व्हाट परसेंट ऑफ टाइम्स ये फंड्स ने पॉजिटिव रिटर्न ही जनरेट किया है. तो इन्वेस्को का अगर आप देखोगे 98% ऑफ टाइम्स इसने पॉजिटिव रिटर्न जनरेट किया है.
डन. नहीं नहीं, मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन था, आपने दिखाया था ना 260 520.
ओके, आप ये वाला बोल रहे हैं ड्रॉ डाउन?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, ठीक है, मैं देखता हूँ आपका जो वीडियो आएगा ना, उसमें मैं देखता हूँ फिर.
मे बी आप फिर सिंगल फंड का रोलिंग रिटर्न्स
या
पूछ रहे हो.
या
हाँ, तो वो एनालिसिस भी सिमिलर ही रहता है. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज उसमें हमने 3 रोलिंग विंडोज आपको बाय डिफॉल्ट दिया रहता है,
ओके
1 ईयर, 2 ईयर एंड 3 ईयर. मतलब
ओके
एग्जैक्टली सेम रहता है कि इस रोलिंग विंडो में कितना एवरेज रिटर्न उसने जनरेट करके दिया है आपको,
ओके
डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्टार्ट एंड द एंड डेट. अब जैसे ये 520 डे 2 साल अगर आप कोई भी कॉन्जिक्यूटिव 2 years अगर आप ये फंड को होल्ड करते विच इज iPru मल्टी कैप फ्रॉम 2019 टिल 2025 तो आपका एवरेज रिटर्न ऑन एन एब्सोल्यूट बेसिस 44% होता, आप उसको एनुअलाइज कर सकते हैं। सो आपका एवरेज रिटर्न इन अ 2 year होल्डिंग पीरियड 22% होता। तो ये आप एडिट भी कर सकते हैं। तो ये सिंगल फंड एज वेल एज ये पोर्टफोलियो लेवल पे भी जो रोलिंग्स का टैब है उसमें हमने 3 रोलिंग विंडोज साइमल्टेनियसली देखने का ऑप्शन दिया है।
ओके फाइन, थोड़ा आप ऊपर स्क्रॉल करेंगे ऊपर।
इधर में भी
नहीं नहीं, सिंगल सिंगल
सिंगल
सिंगल
फंड में
सिंगल
ओके
म्यूचुअल फंड। ओके
इस सेक्शन
हाँ बस, अभी ये ना रिटर्न एनालिसिस है ना, रिटर्न्स का रेंजेस, उसमें
Right.
आपने कुछ बताया था ना।
यस सो ये जैसे मैंने बोला था पहले तो आपको यहाँ ये सिंगल फंड अभी हम देख रहे हैं मत यहाँ
या
पे पहले
गो
तो
अहेड।
आपका जो भी रोलिंग विंडो है आप सेटिंग कर सकते हैं एंड यहाँ पे आपको रिटर्न रेंजेस आप पुट इन कर सकते हैं। तो 5 बकेट्स आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो ईच ऑफ विच इज एडिटेबल। अभी आपको जानना है कि ये फंड ने मे बी 15 से लेके 30% के बीच में कितना परसेंट ऑफ टाइम्स रिटर्न जनरेट किया है। तो ये बोला कि 22% ऑफ टाइम्स इसने 15 to 30 के बीच में जनरेट किया है रिटर्न्स,
ओके
राइट। एंड सिमिलर वे 500 बकेट एडिटेबल होते हैं, आप एडिट करके आपके रिटर्न रेंजेस चेक कर पुट इन करके आप प्रोबेबिलिटी यहाँ पे चेक कर सकते हैं।
ओके डन, या
Hello,
थैंक यू।
hello.
श्योर यस यस गो अहेड।
Yeah, kindly scroll the button and yes. तो अभी आपने कहा कि ये 5 बकेट है, 5 बकेट को मैं एडिट करके एनालिसिस कर सकता हूँ। सपोज अभी 15 to 30% रिटर्न इसने 22 टाइम्स 22% ऑफ टाइम इसने 15 से 30% के रिटर्न जनरेट किए हैं ड्यूरिंग दी माने एक साल की
रोलिंग विंडो करेक्ट।
राइट। ऐसा करके मैं 3 साल 5 साल जैसा भी मैं कर सकता हूँ। एक कॉलम यहाँ पे है मैडम, दिस सेक्शन या एवरेज वॉलेटिलिटी, एवरेज हाई लो।
हाँ सर ये तो सेम होगा ना कि ये रोलिंग रिटर्न्स कितने वॉलेटाइल है, उस रोलिंग विंडो का हाईएस्ट रिटर्न क्या था, लोएस्ट रोलिंग रिटर्न क्या था, सेम जो हमने यहाँ पे भी देखा था सेम कॉलम्स सिंगल फंड में भी रिपीट होते हैं।
ओके, रेंज
हाँ सेम सेम
ये वॉल स्टैंड्स फॉर वॉलेटिलिटी,
करेक्ट करेक्ट वॉल स्टैंड्स फॉर वॉलेटिलिटी
हाई लो।
राइट।
रेंज स्टैंड्स फॉर
हाँ तो रेंज आपको बताता है द स्विंग बिटवीन हाई एंड लो। फॉर एग्जाम्पल इसको टिपिकली जब आप ऐड करोगे हाई प्लस लो आप करोगे तो आपको रेंज मिलता है, राइट। तो ये बोल रहा है कि क्वांट फंड जो है इट कैन गो एज हाई एज 46% एंड इट कुड गो एज लो एज -14% एज वेल। तो ये आपको स्विंग बताता है कि ये 46% जितना ऊपर भी जा सकता है एंड -14 जितना ये नीचे भी जा सकता है, तो हाई माइनस लो आपको रेंज मिलता है।
and positive percent tells me that how many times this funds
Generated positive return.
positive returns.
Hmm.
And I can do analysis by putting period here, and I can analyze in every market scenario. Rolling return means in drawdown market, in bull market and bear market, how funds behaved in that different scenarios I can analyze in this rolling return tab.
या मतलब पॉसिबली आप वो स्टार्ट डेट पुट इन करके अगर आपको मंथली बेसिस या ईयरली बेसिस में उनका कंसिस्टेंसी देखना है तो यू कैन यूज द रोलिंग एनालिसिस फॉर द सेम।
Okay.
Ma'am, this Pramod here.
Yes.
Yeah, with respect to the methodology in the same slide, which was, I mean, same screen you were showing, it shows annualized and then, you also have
Absolute.
absolute, right?
Correct.
So I think annualized comes in when it is more than 260 days.
Correct. By default, we have given this option as annualized, and yes, it comes up when it is 260 and above that way.
Right. So the second thing is on the right side, you have simple returns and point-to-point returns.
Correct.
Okay, so if you take, I mean, how does it? I wanted to tell me, if I take annualized simple returns or annualized point-to-point returns, what difference it's making? I'm somehow not clear about that.
Okay, so in annualized simple return, what we do is we will be taking the sum of daily returns for every 260 points, right? So let's say from 15th March 2020 till the first date, which is 14th March 2023, we take a sum of the daily returns. Once we have that, we average that data to arrive at this average rolling returns. That is how we do it for simple returns. Next, for
Okay.
point-to-point returns, we will be considering the last point and the first point, the 260th point and the first point to arrive at a specific date rolling return. And then we take an average of that.
And then where is the question of average then again? Because if you are taking point-to-point, I think average may not be coming, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, this is Arunab. So point to point will just be the last price divided by the first price minus 1.
Yeah, so at that time, there is no average coming in.
There
It's
is no
basically a
averaging.
rate for that 1 year.
Yeah. So only problem with point to point in this type of scenario is that it comes combined with a little bit of compounding in it because the
Correct.
prices do matter. So we always suggest people to use simple returns because you're basically comparing various different periods of time to each other.
Correct.
You're 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. The prices will be very different compared to 5 years now. So
Right.
simple returns is the way to do it, kind of a fair comparison across time zones. So
Right.
the
Okay.
reason we put point to point in here is that some people wanted to do this analysis so that when you hover over any certain point in this chart and you see a number, and then you independently go and see what is the 1 year return of the fund during that time.
Okay.
Right? Point to point will always match if you do NAV to NAV. But
Okay.
average returns is a different way to do it. It's a simple return. So if you add up the daily returns, if you add up the daily returns, it will not equal NAV divided by NAV minus 1. So there is a difference there. So we always suggest
Correct.
to use simple returns for this analysis.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, could you please go to the drawdown section?
Yes.
Here just show chart, any chart of any schemes. So basically the chart line, what I understand is like in between the start date to end date, any 260 days, that is a whole period, the max drawdown will be so and so number. The length will be for how many days the loss was there actually, was between that, or is the right way to assess that?
I mean, here there is no such 260 days that will come under consideration. This is typically just purely basis how the NAV is
पैसा
moving.
निकाल सकते हो जोड़िए यूनिट्स में
Yeah, so this is typically how the NAV is moving, and when the NAV is falling, how many days did it took to recover from that loss, or rather how many days the loss was there and how many days did it take to recover from that loss to cross that existing start price.
Okay, so this is the start date and end date is the between date, is the date we need to assume it, or like it will be I mean like default there will be a specification or what?
This will be calculated for you. So over this period of time, it is showing between start date and end date. This is the biggest loss during this period of time for this fund. Between, for example, 27 September 2024 to 4th March 2025, 158 days. There will be most likely this will, I think I'm pretty sure it's working days. And that is the worst start to end date period, checking every single 2-day combination across this entire period. That is the worst one. So that's how you should read this chart, and you can change the overall time period. So here there's a start date that is specified at the top, but the end date is always latest. So you can see during this period of time, which was the biggest drawdown between any two NAV points. So that's what that chart shows.
Got it. So can you please change that date to 2020?
Yeah,
Just for
yeah.
Yes. So apparently, right here, currently it will not allow me to go beyond this date of March 2022. That is because in the main list, we do have certain younger funds which are like not 5 years older. So the reason being that the compare section will anytime allow you a minimum common time period analysis. However, if you wish to go beyond that date, you can just try to edit and remove those younger funds from this list.
got it, ma'am. And this I understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Sure. Any more questions? Please let us know. All right. If there are no further questions, we would close it for today. Thank you all for joining in. You could anytime visit our YouTube page. We have a dedicated playlist for all the webinars that have been conducted up until now. Today's webinar will get uploaded by next week. We have a list of 159 odd webinars that have been uploaded. Thank you all for joining in. Hope to see you again next week with a new topic. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.